Hi, I'm Sophie Taylor. Quick note before we start, this channel is AI produced, but the ideas, research, and stories you're about to hear are real. The delivery is AI. The content isn't. Now let's get into it. Have you ever given something everything you had and then watched someone else walk away with the benefit? Maybe you helped a colleague solve a problem they'd been stuck on for weeks. You stayed late, shared your best thinking, figured out exactly what needed to happen. And when it worked, the credit went somewhere else. And you told yourself it was fine. Or maybe you gave your time, your expertise, your energy for free or close to it. And every time you wondered why you weren't getting further ahead, you had a very reasonable explanation ready. You were being generous, building relationship LPs, paying your dues. Here's what I want you to consider. What if that explanation was actually protecting you? What if the generosity was real, but underneath it was also a way to avoid the risk of putting yourself fully on the line? Because if you're helping someone else and it doesn't work out, it doesn't really count, does it? That is self-sabotage. And the reason most people never catch it is because it doesn't look like failure. It looks like hard work. It looks like generosity. It looks completely reasonable. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what self-sabotage is, why it's almost impossible to see while it's happening, and the one shift that makes it visible. Because you can't stop a pattern. You can't see. I'm Sophie Taylor, and I wrote an entire book on self-sabotage. Not because I had it all figured out, but because I was doing it for years without realizing it at all. The working for free thing, that was me. And let me say this clearly. Self-sabotage is not laziness, not a character flaw, not a lack of desire. In fact, most people dealing with it are incredibly capable, hardworking, and deeply frustrated because they can feel the gap between what they're capable of and what they're actually creating. The problem isn't effort. The problem is that some part of you has decided staying where you are is safer than moving forward. And until you see that, nothing changes. So today, I'm not giving you 5 productivity tips. I'm going to show you what this actually looks like. Let me tell you about someone I know. She had a business idea she truly believed in. And when she decided to launch, she did, technically. She set things up, went to events, networked constantly. But if you look closer, she was busy, exhaustingly busy. Tech setup that took twice as long. Event after event after event. Endless networking. But the one thing that actually drives a business forward, sales conversations, that kept getting pushed to tomorrow. She even hired expert, but couldn't let them work. Constant checking, rewriting, second guessing. Not because they were bad, because letting go felt like losing control, and losing control felt dangerous. So she stayed busy, and the business stayed stuck. From the outside, poor time management. In reality, self-sabotage. Because here's the truth. Self-sabotage almost never looks like doing nothing. It looks like doing everything, except the one thing that actually matters. So think about your life. Where are you busy, but not moving forward? Where are you in motion, but avoiding what actually counts? So why do we do this? Because the alternative is scarier. When I was working for free, I told myself I was being helpful, and I was. But I was also protecting myself, because if nothing came of it, it didn't count. No risk, no real test. But if I had charged what I was worth, put my work on the line, and failed, that would mean something real. So I built an escape hatch, and I used it over and over for years. That's what self-sabotage really is. An escape hatch, a way to avoid ever fully finding out what you're capable of. Because if you never really try, you never really fail. And here's the tricky part. The escape hatch always sounds reasonable. You're being strategic, patient, generous. The story makes sense. It just keeps you stuck. So what actually changes this? Usually, it starts with a moment. Not just being tired, but exhausted. The kind where you've worked so hard and you're still in the same place and you think, enough. That moment matters because it's the first time you see the pattern instead of living inside it. And you can't change what you can't see. Here's the framework. 3 steps: see it, name it, shift it, see it, get specific. Your calendar, your choices this week. Where are you busy but not moving forward? Name it. What is the escape hatch protecting you from? Failure, rejection, not being good enough? Say it out loud, on paper. Shift it, not a big plan. One action, one call, one step forward today. That's it. Not dramatic, just real. A moment where you do the thing you've been avoiding and realize the world doesn't end. And you learn something true about yourself. Before you go, understand this. That frustration, that feeling of being stuck, that is not permanent. It's a pattern. And patterns can change. But it won't happen overnight. You'll slip. You'll fall back. That's not failure. That's the process. What changes is you catch it faster. You choose differently. Sooner. Not because the fear disappears, but because you realize it was never as dangerous as it felt. You are not a failure. And this is not permanent. There is a way out. If you want something more concrete, I've put together a free resource, the Self-Sabotage Discovery Kit. It includes a 50-question assessment, a quick reference guide, and the first chapter of the book. Completely free. Go to purplepenbooks.com/SSSkit. Link in the description. And if you want to go deeper, the full book covers everything. Relationships, health, money, career, real strategies, no fluff. purplepenbooks.com/stopselfsabotage. Before you go, drop a comment. Where has self-sabotage been most invisible for you? The first answer is usually the honest one. And if this helped, subscribe. New content every week. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.